Welcome into the lounge presented by DraftKings. I'm Ryan Mink here with Garrett Downing, and we are thrilled to sit down with cornerback Nate Wiggins. So, Nate, I'll start here because Garrett and I do this in our office all the time. We always give each other the beep, beep, beep. Like he screws something up, I give it to him. I want to dunk on him. So your celebration, it's the best on the team. I gotta say, you wear the crown. When did that start? How'd you go with that celebration?
It started probably like my 10th grade year in college.
Okay.
First it was just the box animation. Then my 12th grade year I added the thumbs down. It just like before I did the box, they used to call me like, we used to say box. Like in Clemson we say box them up.
Okay.
So before with the box, they used to say box them up. We used to just yell it out loud. Then I came up with the box emote. So now a lot of people in the league around doing it, so I feel like it's going.
I saw it spread through the rest of the team even last season. I mean, you had, I think Ronnie Stanley did
that.
That
was my favorite when Ronnie was hitting I think it was maybe like the Steelers bench.
Yeah, he boxed them up. Yeah,
he boxed up the pass rusher.
Yeah, you can do it from whatever, man. Like pass rushing, a defensive line, you knock down the ball. Like so, it's going on for whoever position.
Well, Namdi kind of has one too. He like kind of draws the door and then kicks it down.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of a similar vibe to it. But you don't do it all that often. Like you save it. Like you're pretty selective.
If you overuse it,
you don't want to go crazy with it.
Yeah,
you are pretty selective with it.
Cause I feel like each reflection is not like a celebration. So when I get like, I lock somebody up. Like if I'm pressing, he can't get off a jam and they throw the ball and I pass break it up. Like I just put him in a box like the whole play. So I really don't like to use it like each play, because like each play I didn't put him in the box. I might just catch up with him to finish it. So I feel like I use it at a good manner.
It's like almost points. Like when you use it, it's almost like when the ball doesn't come his direction. Like it's almost like wait, that's almost for a guy like you who can just lock up some of these wide receivers. Like that's almost the best play if ball doesn't even come towards you.
Yeah.
If it does come towards him or you get a pick or something, then it turns into the coffin.
We just keep adding to it.
Has any like wide receiver, have they gotten salty when you boxed them when you did the celebration?
No, I don't recall nobody getting salty about it.
Okay.
I don't recall like.
You don't got anything to say. You just got boxed up.
Yeah, I don't feel like you can't say nothing after you just got boxed. So like I feel like they don't be saying nothing.
Yeah. So I mean, an awesome rookie season for you.
Thank you.
Now you're going into year 2. What lessons do you primarily take from rookie year to year 2?
Really just my technique, really, because I feel like some plays last year I was like getting tired or some of my technique. I just feel like this year I just want to be technical sound and catching the ball too. Like I feel like I dropped like 5-6 picks last year. I feel like I owe the team some picks. So this year it's all about catching the ball, looking it through. Yeah.
I feel like corner. I mean, obviously physically demanding. You have to be a premier athlete as you are, super fast, all those things, right? You're like some of the best athletes on the field. But also the mental side of it, of just like having to stay locked in every single time with the technique like you're talking about, because the ball isn't always going to come your way, right? And if you kind of get like lackadaisical, like in baseball, they're not hitting it to me, whatever, then it's easy to lose focus. Yeah. Is that kind of what you're talking about?
Yeah, just really just like having, like you said, mental focus and having next play mentality. Like playing corner, they gonna like, you're not gonna deflect the ball each time. The receiver get paid too. Like some highs paid too, so they gonna catch the ball. It's just really having a strong mental focus and next play mentality. Like so, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So Nate, it became pretty obvious to me, like when you got here last year, like he can play. Like he can play with these guys. In training camp, that was evident. I'm just curious for you, like was there a point where it clicked for you and you were like, oh, like I'm ready for the NFL game. Like I can hold my own at this level.
I feel like going in my probably like week 6, week 7. That's when it really like clicked in my head. Like I know it sounded like pretty late because I was doing.
You had that Dallas game.
Yeah,
you had that.
Yeah, I know I was doing, but like week 6, week 7, it really clicked in my head. Like okay, I can guard like all these like each receiver in the league. Like I can really like just sit down, watch film on them, get the technique and like just really lock them down. So that's when I really just like it really clicked like week 6, week 7.
And what was it that made you feel that way? Was it like I'm just curious why. Like, why was it at that point that you started to feel a difference in how you were playing and how you can see the game and all of that?
It really just I was getting confident. Just like each week I was playing better and better and better, and it was just I was just like after every game I just watch like most of my plays, and I like see like I was getting more confident like in my stance, and I was just playing like I was just out there playing. So I was just like, yeah, I'm ready. Like, it's time.
By the end of the year, it felt like, to me, it was like, we got Nate over there. We don't got to worry about that. You know what I mean? Like, you were playing at that level, and it seemed like you were playing with that confidence. How did you feel down the stretch of last season and into the playoffs, and then even coming into this year? How much more confident do you feel in your game?
Like you said, during down the stretch, like I said, like week 6 and 7, that's when I knew when it had it. So after them, week 8, week 9, week 10, it was just now like just watching film, and because I already knew like I can, my confidence was there. So I already knew it was just now like getting the plays down, getting the concepts, getting like how they run routes. Now, because I can everything physical I can do in it like with these guys. So now it just getting the technique down and getting how we play the defense. So
yeah. You had some premier matchups last year for a rookie. I mean, CeeDee Lamb in your third game, right? Malik Neighbors, Jamar Chase, those guys. Who was the most fun guy to match up with for you?
I feel like CeeDee Lamb probably was the best. It was fun. Probably was fun.
Okay, and why is that?
Just because I feel like he gave me the most work. After my rookie year, I feel like after that game, it really like set me down. I really had to tone in on my technique because I think I had like 2 PI that game on them. So I feel like that game, I really just had to sit down and just tone in.
You got the forced fumble on him now.
You had the strip though.
Yeah.
So it was like kind of a mixed bag a little bit.
Did the Malik Neighbors, it felt like that Giants game and the Malik Neighbors game was almost in a way a turning point for you. Like you had a number of good plays against him he had an awesome season. He's a super talented player. What did that game and that matchup against another first round pick?
It was just really like, we got drafted. It was just really showing the lead like I could play too. Like I know I slipped 30 last year in the draft because my doubt. So I was just showing everybody showing the leader, like, yeah, I'm here. Yeah, that's what that game was about.
It's interesting, like, hearing you say I slipped, because, like, your first-round pick, but it seems like the draft in your mind is almost like you look at it like sure, it's a great moment, you get drafted, but also, like, it seems like there's still a little bit of a chip on your shoulder about the draft.
Yeah, it still is, because, it was a lot of doubters. A lot of teams doubted me, saying I wasn't ready, I was too small, so, it's definitely still going to be a chip on my shoulder.
Interesting. You mentioned the picks. That's something that you're working on. How do you do that? Like, how do you go to work as a jugs machine? Like, what are you trying to do to improve and coming up with those picks?
Yeah, just moving full speed on the jug. Because, like, most of the time, like you said, I play cornerback, so we're not just, like, receiver. Our eyes not on the ball at all the time. You had to flip. So just get on the jug, get my eyes off the jug, back on the jug, so stuff like that, just to get my eyes on the ball.
I'm curious about technique, because we talked about that just a couple of minutes ago, and you're like such a great athlete. You ran, the 40, 4.2, 4.29?
4.28.
4.28. Oh, I don't want to shortchange you. And so, like, you run the 4.28, you got this great speed, sticky in coverage, but, like, the technique, I got to believe that most of the guys that you're going to come up against, especially at the college level, you're just a better athlete then. Yeah. And then you get to the NFL, and everybody's an even better athlete. And so... so you can't lean on like just the talent as much as you could at the college level. Was that part of the learning process for you when you got to the NFL?
Yeah, that's what I was going on about, like week 6, week 7.
Yeah.
Like the first couple games, I was just playing on strictly like talent and my athletic ability. So I really wasn't giving like great technique. So down the stretch, I had to like learn like everybody good, everybody fast, but you beat other people, other good people with great technique, because like it's hard to have great technique every play. So that's what I'm working on this year, just having great technique every play.
Would that pick 6 in the regular season finale, would that do for you?
Yeah. I wish I would have had it earlier, but I got it. That's what was one of my goals on my rookie season.
Was it pick 6?
Yeah, so I got that one. So that one felt good. It felt great.
What's going through your mind? Like, when you catch it, there's green grass. I mean, like, as soon as you caught that, it was like, I'm just taking this to the house. Like, what are you thinking?
Oh, yeah. As soon as I caught it, he threw it right to me. So I'm like, yes. As soon as I look, I looked and I just seen like nothing but grass. I knew I was going to house it.
You talk about that being one of your rookie season goals. What's on the goal sheet for year 2 for you?
Just really get 10 plus turnover. It don't matter like interceptions, forced fumbles.
10?
Yeah, I need 10 plus.
That would be a hell of a year.
Yeah, that's a high one. And really just keep on what I did last year. Just my coverage wise, be all around cornerback, showing up in the run, covering. So yeah, this year I feel like it's gonna be good.
Well, Zach Orr told us on this podcast that he expects you to become one of the best cornerbacks in the league in year 2, which is more lofty goals for you. What goes through your head when you hear your DC say that?
I mean, it just give me another chip on my shoulder, knowing like one of the top head guys in the building saying he wanted me to be the best. I got the chance to be the best cornerback. So that's only give me the ability just to push and even strive for it more.
What motivates you?
Just I love playing football. I mean, my family. I mean, just coming out here and competing. I mean, I don't like losing, so I feel like that's what drives me the most. I feel like receiver catching the ball on me. That's just, taking away from me. So, yeah, I feel like, yeah.
So you mentioned in the draft process, one of the questions that a lot of teams and media had for you was size. And you answered that question about a million times during the pre-draft process and as a rookie, just being a leaner guy. You talked even about, as a rookie in this offseason, looking for ways to kind of bulk up and add muscle. How have you gone about that, and where does that stand?
Ever since I got back, I gained like 10 pounds now. So
okay,
I feel
since you got back here for the conditioning program?
Since offseason, since last season to now, I gained 10 pounds. Okay. So I'm feeling great right now. I feel like I did it last year too, but I feel like this year is just gonna be like with more power, more strength. So I feel like I'm still like trending to gain more pounds. So yeah, I feel like it's. Yeah.
How do you go about it?
I just be eating. I've been eating. Last year I really like. I'm not a big fan of eating, but I be forcing myself to eat. So.
Me and you got to hang out more. I can teach you a thing or two about eating. Eating, I live to eat, not eat to live. Right? So I can teach you some things. All right.
Okay. I'm sure you spend a lot of time with Sarah Snyder, the nutritionist, just looking for ways to kind of find.
We talk mostly every day. She just texts me like how many grams I need a day, like what I need to eat, like on the weekend, what I need to do. So she a big part in too.
Is that part of just kind of becoming a pro, I guess, like just learning the diet piece of it? A lot of times hear veteran players talk about like how they learn the nutrition and the diet and the sleep, like that type of stuff.
I feel like that's all come with being part of a pro. You gotta learn how to sleep, you gotta learn how to eat. That transition with like the feel on your body. I feel like if you eat better, your body gonna produce better. So.
You mentioned the film study. How much did that become part of your routine? How much did you really embrace that as a rookie, and are you doing even more?
Yeah, I mean, the beginning I really didn't do that much, but like I said, like week 6, week 7, I picked up on it, and I not even doing more now. Like even before the season started, I'm already watching film now, so I feel like I just had to learn how to watch film, like what I'm watching.
Was there a vet that kind of helped you with that?
Oh yeah, Marlon. Yeah, Marlon's sitting down. I asked Marlon and Kyle like to just sit me down and teach me how to watch film, because like I really never watched film, because like you said in college, I was basically better than everybody.
Right. I mean, that's kind of what I see as the exciting part about you, right? Is that you're a competitor. You love playing football, like you said. You're a great athlete, all these things. And as you become more of a pro and your body fills out and you learn how to, study film even better and the technique and all that stuff, like it really feels like, and Eric Costa said it, that really the sky's the limit. And he always says, and it's on Nate. It's on Nate to like realize that potential.
Yeah.
When you hear that and that kind of motivation from the GM and from Zach Orr, like we talked about, like how much does that kind of inspire you to be like, man, like, I want to fulfill this great potential that I have.
Yeah, like you said, ever since I talked to Eric, man, he always told me like the sky's the limit. I could be the best. It's just up to me. So every day I come in, I just think about being the best. What can I do to be the best? Like what I need to work on. So. Yeah.
I think when you talk about Eric, like I think back to the phone call that you had with him when the Ravens drafted you, and you just kept saying to him, "You got the best one. You got the best one." And looking back at this year's draft, we pulled up that clip, and I was like, that was a pretty strong statement from you. Like, where does that confidence come from, and why did you feel that way in that moment?
I feel like playing cornerback. I mean, you gotta have some type of confidence. You can't be going out there with like no confidence. So, I mean, you gotta have some type of confidence. And I mean, I just feel like on the best. I mean, I put it on tape. Like my college. I don't feel like nobody will really covering like me. So that's why I felt like I was the best. So.
Yeah.
Now, at Clemson, I'm sure there's a number of DeAndre Hopkins pictures up around the facilities there. Yeah. Now you're out in the practice field and you're covering the guy. What's that like for you covering D-Hop?
I mean, that's crazy. I mean, that's crazy because, I mean, that's just going to make me even better knowing he 12 years, 13 years in the league. So, I mean, he got a lot of knowledge. And, I mean, going against Clemson, probably a Clemson Hall of Famer at some point. So, yeah. I mean, yeah, that's
starting to get a Clemson contingent up in here. Yeah. You, Trenton, D-Hop now,
man,
taking over.
That's great. You mentioned that Marlon's helped you with watch film. I noticed in the locker room now you and Marlon are right next to each other in that back corner.
Yeah, they put it.
Was that a request on your part? You just come in here this year and you said, "Hey, my locker got moved to the back corner."
Yeah, it wasn't a request. I just I moved. I came in and Marlon was right next to me. So, I mean, it's good and it's better than this year. So we can get. We can have better, like, we can talk to each other about, like, the defense. You can let me know things, so I feel like it's even better.
You and Marlo have different energies. I feel like this is good and bad to have Marlo sitting right next to you. Marlo's a lot.
Marlo, he one-on-one, man. It's only one of Marlo, man. It's only one of Marlo.
All right, well, last question for me is the mouth guards. I think that you caught fans' attention with how many mouth guards you wear on a game day. And they're all, well, I shouldn't say you wear them. They're dangling. I don't know how often they really actually make it into your mouth. What's the number? Like, how many mouth guards can we get up to this year? Because I'd like to see like 8 of them. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna just keep it with 2 this year.
Just
man.
2. Okay.
I'm gonna keep it with just 2.
What if you added one for every pick you get?
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
Well, that'd be kind of fun. You'd have 10. You'd have 10 by the end of the year.
I don't think I can fit 10 on my face, man. That'd be crazy. I might have that in my playing book. I might have that in my playing book.
How did that one start? So we had the box, and then how did the mouth guard thing start? Did you do that in college too?
Yeah, I was doing that like my brother. Well, my brother, he died. He did it first. He used to play football, so he was doing it first. So I just do it like just for him because he died.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome, man.
Powerful.
Well, keep up the celebrations and the tributes, and we hope to see a lot more people in boxes.
You're gonna see it in more this year. You're gonna see it more this year.
All right, appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Thank you. Welcome back to the Lounge Podcast. We are coming to you from the SeatGeek studio. We also want to mention our partners at DraftKings Sportsbook. They are an official sports betting partner of the Baltimore Ravens. DraftKings Sportsbook, the crown is yours. So really enjoyed the conversation with Nate. I think he's a guy that is just going to take a big step this year. It's interesting to hear him say he's packed on 10 pounds of muscle and just a guy that I think the sky really is the limit for him. I think that he's got so much potential. We saw a glimpse of that last year, and I do not at all think it's like hyperbole to say he could be a Pro Bowler this year. I think it's hard for cornerbacks to crack.
There's a lot of good corners in the league, but he's one of them. I mean, there's not many guys that are more talented than Nate. And so I think that he's also a player that is just going to continue to get better and better and better. You know what I mean? Like as he just, as you said, he's still developing. His body is still developing. Like he's still in this process of finding exactly where he wants to be weight wise and all those things. And but yeah, I think that he's gonna play at a very high level for the Ravens this year. And honestly, you look at the Ravens schedule and there's just great receivers everywhere. And that's just how it works in the NFL. And even in this, we got DK Metcalf just came into the division, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins re-signed, there's no shortage of guys. And so Nate's going to see a lot of that action. He's going to be really relied upon, really, as it looks like the Ravens' top outside corner. I mean, I think that Marlon's going to play a lot in the slot this year, and then Chidobe Awuzie will be on the other side, but Nate's kind of the guy.
I think that as I look at the Ravens defense, I think the ideal scenario is that it's basically, okay, Nate, just take away half the field, and he's going to be out there and just be a guy that can has the potential to eliminate half the field. Marlon can play in the slot, move all over the place, and and then Cheeto most likely is stepping into that spot from Brandon Stevens from last year. Also, Jalen Armour-Davis is somebody who we've seen out here in these OTA practices who's going into his 4th season, so this is a big opportunity for him, who's going to challenge for reps and snaps there. But I think that, as you're looking at it, you just say, okay, Nate, you got this side of the field, and he can go out there and play against number 1 wide receivers. You can feel really good about that matchup.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, from a talent standpoint, he can stand toe-to-toe with any of those guys. Yeah. And so it's how he plays this season for a Ravens secondary that, as we all know, struggled out of the gates last year. But then, Nate talked about weeks 5, 6, 7, when he kind of was the turning point. Well, that was kind of the turning point around that area for the Ravens defense as a whole. So as Nate
he was part of the solution.
Exactly. And so as Nate goes, to a degree, is how this Ravens secondary is going to go.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And it's interesting to hear him say he learned as a rookie some of the soft skills that are required, as we talked about: film, diet, nutrition, sleep, all that kind of stuff that you don't necessarily think of at top of mind, but is really important. And he learned that rookie year, and I just think he's coming into this year in such a better spot, having that year of experience. And I think that he's going to have a great season. Obviously, he's got lofty goals. I mean, 10 takeaways. Yeah, that's a big number. I like the idea behind that.
That is, yeah. So that'd be pretty. He'd land in the Pro Bowl.
Yeah,
if he gets 10 takeaways, he's going to the Pro Bowl. I can tell you that much.
Yeah,
might be in Defensive Player of the Year running.
Seriously. I don't think it's outside of the question. So that'd be awesome to see that come to fruition. So we had another chance to watch OTA practice today, and we want to give you some of our takeaways. A little bit of a different day compared to the last OTA practice that we watched. Lamar Jackson was not out there today. A handful of other guys weren't, but still really good attendance overall when you look at it across the board. Also, after practice, had a chance to talk with Todd Monken and Zay Flowers. So what was the big thing that stood out to you in watching and hearing from those guys today?
Yeah, well, really, I think it was mostly what was said afterwards. And Todd Monken was pretty clear that he wants to get the ball to Zay Flowers more this year. And now there's a lot of mouths to feed in this offense. But just to going out there and saying, Zay's an unbelievable player, and we want him catching the ball more. That's noteworthy. Fantasy football, I'm sure managers are going to be picking up on that. And so that was pretty cool. I mean, the Ravens' first homegrown Pro Bowl wide receiver, he can do it all. And so even with the addition of DeAndre Hopkins, he's the featured guy. And Bate, is going to get his and all the tight ends and all that stuff. But it was pretty clear hearing from Todd Monken just how special he thinks Zay Flowers is going into year 3.
The thing about Zay is that he can beat you in so many different ways. They can use him underneath and some of the gadgety stuff, but they can also press the ball down the field on deep shots.
Well, and that's kind of where even Zay talked about the room to grow is a little bit deeper down the field. And that's always been part of his game where I'm like, man, this guy's so fast. I'd like to see more. Now, obviously, he's not the size of DeAndre Hopkins. He's not the big body, go up contested ball, guy. But if he can, and Zay feels also like that's the part where he can still unlock his game, is hitting more of those big play opportunities. And if he does that, it's going to be a real big headache for defenses.
One of the things I remember when Todd Monken came here, one of his main points on his first day on the job was, I want defenses to have to defend every blade of grass, and I want to be a space team. Get the ball to players in space. And so you stretch out the field and you force defenses to cover the entire width and length of the field. And adding the deep shot component to the offense overall, which the Ravens had plenty of deep shots last year, but also you add to the equation with Zay in the mix. And I think you add the outside game with DeAndre Hopkins a little bit more, the back shoulder stuff.
Yep. Contested catch, sideline.
Yes. So now you have, and Rashad Bateman can do that really well too, but the Ravens are so good, I think, over the middle of the field. They're good with Zay coming out of the backfield in creative ways. But now you add, if you can get 8 yards easy to DeAndre Hopkins along the sidelines, that just opens up things even more over the middle. And so I think that's going to be really a focus for this offense, is just finding ways to get the ball to guys in space and defend the entire length of the field. And also, I said all that, didn't even mention the running game. You know,
Yeah,
so like
exactly.
you do all that, and then you also can just turn and hand the ball to the big fella and let Derrick Henry go to work.
Yep, absolutely. And I think also it was great to hear from Zay Flowers that his knee is totally behind him, says he feels 100%, no limitations. Obviously that knocked him out for the playoffs last year, which I think people don't talk about enough actually, is the Ravens were very healthy last year overall, but the fact that you lost a Pro Bowl wide receiver going into the playoffs was a big deal.
Yeah.
And so great to hear that he's back on the field and feeling great. He did, however, I will say fans might be disappointed about this. Zay Flowers did say, I'm not going to the Olympics. Basically said, I play professional football, not too interested in the whole Olympics thing.
Yeah.
He would have been a first-round pick.
Yeah.
He would have been a high pick for the Olympics.
Yeah, I think he would have been for that
Flag
flag
football
2028. Every team gets one player that can go. And Zay, I think, would have been high. I mean, of course, Lamar would be very high on that list.
Lamar has said that he also doesn't think that he would play. So we're down the top two guys.
Yeah. Kyle Hamilton indicated that he might want to.
That's true.
He would be a really high pick.
I could see Isaiah Likely playing. He would also be pretty darn good.
Isaiah Likely had a really nice catch. He just continues to impress. He had a really nice catch in today's practice from Cooper Rush. Going back to practice, I think it's good to get Cooper Rush, some snaps and reps. Like we haven't seen him, and like that's good opportunity for him to run with the ones and see, just to build chemistry with these targets. Certainly hope that Lamar Jackson's healthy, of course, all season long, but it's a backup quarterback's an important position. So I think it's good for him to just kind of get his feet under him in this offense. Yeah,
definitely agree. And Todd Monken talked about him after practice. Obviously a different skill set than Lamar's, but a guy who, with the experience, they really feel confident that he'll pick up this offense pretty quickly and really, he's going to get a lot of preseason action because the Ravens have not played Lamar Jackson at all. So, I think it's a good thing for Cooper Rush to kind of get those reps like you're talking about.
Yeah. Then the other just note from practice is the kicking competition's underway. We're going to get a chance to see here. It's either two rookies in Tyler Loop and John Hoyland. Loop, of course, being a 6th-round pick and Hoyland undrafted. These guys are going to battle it out over the course of the spring and summer and see who ends up winning that job.
They went 6 for 6 today, each with 3 attempts, and so they were rotating kickers today. We saw both rookie kickers kick the ball, so 6 for 6. It's a good start.
Yes,
in front of reporters.
Yeah,
and that was good. Another note for me, Jalen Armour-Davis. We mentioned him. I think don't forget about him in this cornerback rotation. Cheeto was not practicing again. We didn't see him last week during OTAs because of illness. John Harbaugh said he was not out there again today. But so Jalen Armour-Davis got a lot of run time with the starting defense and made a nice play. Broke up a pass intended for DeAndre Hopkins in the end zone. And you know me. I don't know if there's a bigger Jalen Armour-Davis stand than me. I just think the guy can play.
Yeah.
And he has to stay healthy, but I think he's a professional guy. And, man, if he can stay on the field, I think that he could push Cheeto, for reps. I don't know that it's going to be, Cheeto is playing 100% of the reps out there at outside corner. I think that obviously Marlon, if you're only running with 2 corners, he could be outside. But Jalen Armour-Davis could be a key piece on this defense.
Look,
it's a big year for him. Year 4
is really big.
Year 4 for him.
Different players, but I go back to when Jalen Armour-Davis was drafted, and at the time the Ravens had Anthony Averett, a cornerback from Alabama, who had a very similar trajectory to what Jalen Armour-Davis had.
Yep.
So much so that Jalen said at that point, like as a rookie, people used to tell me all the time when I was at Alabama how much we reminded each other, reminded people of each other, and then like their paths at Alabama were similar, where it took a little while to get on the field, and they got on the field and played well. Anthony Averett had his best season in his last season, their starting job.
Yep.
Len left in free agency.
Got a nice contract.
But could that same thing happen to Jalen Armour-Davis? Would not rule that out.
Yep.
I think that history could repeat itself here with an Alabama cornerback. They know each other well. So root for that to be the case. And I think he has a potential, and it's really been injuries that have held him back, but he's got a lot of ability, and it'd be awesome to see him be able to stay healthy, put it all together this year, and carve out a nice role for himself on this defense.
Yep, absolutely. Well, 2 more days of practices will be open to reporters during OTAs here in this second week. Garrett and Clifton will be bringing you all of the breakdowns from those practices. Thank you for listening. As always, you can reach us at the lounge at ravens.nfl.net, and we'll be back with you later this week.